All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, episode 30. All right, so we've been introduced to Takeshi Sendo.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, one of my favorite new characters that they've introduced in recent memory of Ippo.
Yeah, that was a great aggressive character introduction for this positive boy.
Yeah, he's got a lot of qualities about him that make him not only stand out, but also make him run parallel to Ippo in a very interesting way.
Yes, even down to their boxing style.
Yes, it's really intentional that they're trying to make you draw connections between the two of them.
Yeah.
And yet Sendo's got this thing about him where, one, he's a huge fan of Takamura, but he's got this thing about him where he likes to prod the...
Right, he likes to test
his
himself.
opponents. Well, it's not that. I'm talking about the one who sees a big rhino,
right,
and he's like, I'm gonna poke it with a stick.
Exactly.
It's just like, what are you doing, Sendo? What are you doing?
Right.
So
I'm gonna poke it with a stick while I'm in front of it.
Well, yeah. So he's got this fearless but stupid kind of attitude, right? You know, and I think that mix, but shown in all kinds of circumstances, where it applies and where it doesn't, is something that'd be really interesting to see moving forward.
If anything, he's almost like what we would expect from the traditional sort of sports shonen protagonist type thing, except he's not the main character. So,
yeah, there are a lot of main character-esque qualities about him. Yet, I would say his charisma and charm is one that's almost a bit too dang high for a main character.
Sure. Yeah.
So
you gotta have those underdog qualities in there.
Right. And I am very much a fan of that type of charisma he has where he does stumble over himself still.
Right.
But
he doesn't mind that he's stumbling. He'll still just keep going.
And oh my god, the comedy in the last episode was crazy.
It was awesome.
So looking forward to more stuff potentially with Sendo, Ippo training for what is to come, and trying to put himself on the road to recovery a little bit, maybe a little bit faster. Should be good. So y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Sony. It's interesting. We see.
Oh,
what?
Ippo just did the move that Sendo did.
What's that?
The one where it's like the I forget what they called it. It was like the drive or something, or the one where it's like he basically puts everything into the one punch, and it's like a 3/4 uppercut. You know?
Oh, okay. Now, are you sure that was Ippo and it wasn't someone else? Okay. Dang. Oh.
Wait, is this his dad?
Dad, yeah. This has that flashback kind of hue over it. Oh, wait, no.
Oh, okay, it's just Ippo.
Okay.
Oh.
Miyazaki. Aww. Right. To enemy ground. Well, that's telling.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right. Oh, is this the doctor? Yeah, cool.
He's like, I can say
Cool.
the same.
Huh.
So she's a judo champion.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome.
僕も少し意外で。
意外？
Huh.
いや、柔道日本一って聞いてた。これなら評判いいはずだ。
His thought about why she comes so highly recommended has to do with
右の拳の骨折の具合を見てもらいたいんですけど。
これなら骨折してもおかしくないわ。
Oh.
試合後拳だけじゃなく右肩も少し痛かったでしょう。
そういえば。
パンチ力がありす
Oh,
ぎ
it's
肩や拳がその正面
oh,
Alright.
just the blunt force, like
の瞬間
Sure.
you know.
反動で負担がかかるところを痛めちゃう。
それ会長にも言われました。推薦のお医者さんです。すごいです。
幕内くんもすごいわよ。
Wow. Wow.
What? That was so all of a sudden. What? Now he's got his hands crossed over his...
Yeah.
Ah!
教えてください。
Oh my gosh.
でも
Wow.
危険な方法はこれからのボクサーでしょ。将来のために今回の試合は見送るのが正解よ。
Oh.
でもそれは逃げてるってことじゃないですか。の怪我を理由に仙道さんとの試合から逃げちゃったら、他の試合でももう前に出られないような試合をやれる可能性がたとえ 1% でもあるのなら、僕はそれにかけてみたい。
Oh, you know what's cool here is that she should be able to understand a little bit of what he's going through because
メニューを
she was a champion, you know, she went through
Right.
probably stuff like
と
this.
りあえずリングに上がれる状態になるはずよ。
本当ですか？
ただしそれでもまだ痛みは残っていると思うの。その場合試合直前に拳に直接
Oh.
Okay.
試合ができるなら。
分かった。
Okay.
本当は私にもとてもよくわかるの。
Yeah.
までの1ヶ月
Yeah.
はい、よろしくお願いします。練習とかで拳が熱を持ったら、とにかく冷やすのが一番大切なんだって。
それからこのままだと毎試合筋を痛めるわ。肩の筋肉を鍛えて自分の破壊力を
Whoa!
All right.
Good grief. All right.
Okay.
Well, he's got a
Okay.
plan. That's
Yeah.
good. Just be consistent and stick with it. And
随分と敬遠されちゃってね。でもなんとか2人くらいリストアップしてきたよ。
俺様の強さもとうとうタイにまで飛ぶようになっちまったが、早速特訓じゃ。覚悟せい。
Chief's gonna be like, "What the hell are you doing?" Yeah, yeah. What's that?
妙なことを始めたの。
いや、これは
何？拳に直接ます。
確かにそういう前例はあるよ。でも拳の怪我は癖になりやすくて、一度や二度の泣きで済まないのが現実なんだ。長い目で見たら完全に治した方がいいと思うよ。
こやつは言い出したらちょっとやそっとじゃ聞かんわい。
Okay.
Oh man.
貴様を刺激するといかんと思って見せらんだ仙道の資料じゃ。
Oh,
仙道は貴様と同じコテコテの
awesome.
Time to start studying up. He's not very well endowed, but he compensates well. Okay.
当然もらった相手は病院送りじゃ。幸い命に別状なかったものの、ボクサーとして再びリングに立つこと。
Oh, jeez. His neck went a little bit.
ボクシングは過酷なスポーツじゃ。選手としてやっていける期間はあまり。
Wow.
その短い
Wow.
自らの手で縮めることになってもいいのか。
で潰れるようなら、ボクサーとして僕はそこまでだと。
分かった。
Okay.
ここまで言うなら、ボクサーの気持ちを優先する。試合をやる方向で練習を進めよう。
ありがとうござい
ただ
ます。
し、
However,
100% やると決めたわけでは。
all right, we got Sendo.
かなりスマッシュのイメージできてきたみたいやな。あかん、今日はもうしまいや。
しまいって
スマッシュのイメージができたかで相手のイメージができへんのや。
仙道さん、
あ、届けてくれるた。
Nice.
Cool.
He's like, we're not done yet. Awesome. You have him crab walk?
ボクシングの打撃に耐えてきとるんでな。あのスタミナに対抗するためにこの練習を。
Haha! The doctor! They're just like, oh!
僕がお世話になってる接骨院の先生で。
会長さん、はじめまして。
小僧から話は聞いとるよ。俺でいいんだな、じじい。
Wow. Whoa.
Whoa. Huh? It's a rising tower.
Yep.
In the position that they were at. Oh my gosh.
Takamura is properly motivated.
Yes, exactly. The animation is hilarious for it too.
Yeah.
She's gonna become a fan, like
right.
Huh?
And she's gone. Wow.
This is oh my gosh. Gotcha.
高村さん、ビデオいいですか？とにかくすごいですよ、あの破壊力は。まあ見てください。
What was Takamura doing?
I don't know, but I don't think he wanted them to know what he was doing.
There didn't seem to be anything in. Oh.
Ah!
Yeah.
Much destructive power.
Uh-huh. Wow.
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 Good grief, Takamura.
気の強いやっちゃな。しかし不十分な体勢のくせにいいパンチ打ちやる。
I had a feeling that was gonna happen.
全部爪折っとかにゃ。
Wow. What the heck is this episode? Oh my gosh. Whoa! Whoa!
Sure, I guess he's got to work on his jabs too.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Oh my gosh. I love it.
All right.
We're getting these boys ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Whoa.
そやけど幕の内のパンチもこれに匹敵します。お互いベストパンチもろた。一発で試合終わり。
Huh.
サンキューばあちゃん。
Oh.
Look at her with her big fat cat.
何やクソガキども。サボっとんのと。
Ah!
ロッキーが教えてくれた右ストレートな。4組の
Oh.
ほう。喧嘩に使うな。そうやの。ガキらしい遊びせんかい。
バカでオラテレビゲーム持ってへんもん。 ロッキー信じようになったらこうてくれる言うとったやろ。
He's like,
Might
these
as
kids,
each one.
these guys remember.
新人王のチケットや。
Ah!
熱い
Oh yeah.
テレビゲームなんかよりよっぽど燃えるでほなまたなせーな垂れ幕作ったんやおおきに
Ah.
次回は気が早いで桜ちゃんと KO やで
Wow.
That's
This
crazy.
is so cool.
痛みはもうほとんどないそれにここまで来て泣き言は言ってられないよ仙道さん勝負だ
Down.
早速ウォームアップしスパーリングじゃ。
えスパーやるんですか
これ小森言いますね。ライト級の8回戦や。
Okay.
どうも
幕の内くんには血と荷が重いかもしれへんけど調整程度やし。
Okay.
全開で打つことはない。怪我はもう7、8分には戻っとる。それなりの力でいい。お前のパンチなら7分で十分通用するわい。
はい
Yeah, you got this, buddy.
や取れてる勘を取り戻さなきゃごっつ早い踏み込みよ
And that was just a jab.
Yeah.
絶好調じゃないか。
Like
What a good
gunshots.
sound from his jabs. He's still nervous about his right though. Oh.
しまった右拳を
Oh, he's scared of the
Yeah,
contact.
probably.
Yeah. He's subconsciously. Yeah.
Or maybe he lost flexibility because... Well, no, that's probably not it.
だが打てねえんだ。
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Since he hasn't used it for that in so long, he's got to kind of retrain it.
Yeah.
どうして
Wow, that's scary though for a
Yeah.
for a boxer like him who relies so much on that incredibly like powerful
Yep.
series of punches, you know?
Right.
Yeah, he can't really box like that. So
It's kind of a problem.
how much of it do you think is just mental versus physical?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Because I
I'm
can
not sure
see it
which is
being some
worse.
level of muscle pattern based on the punishment that the fist took.
Right.
And yet I would say like I'm gonna guess like 90% of it is mental.
I would think so, because he's still done like shadow boxing and whatnot, you know, so...
Right. It was almost like he held back or he punched and he missed intentionally to kind of avoid contact.
Yeah.
And
Because like his fist just stopped, right?
Right.
So...
an example of this in any kind of sport where you have something coming at you really fast is that there's that slight bit of hesitation where your head, like, say the baseball's thrown at you,
Sure.
and right as you catch it, even though you're going to catch it, your head just kind of snaps back a little bit. So it's like,
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Training.
Mm-hmm.
New character.
Indeed.
The doctor, she was a quite a source of comedy
yes.
for this episode.
She was very impressed with Ippo.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was played into a little bit for the whole thing of, you know, Ippo being like, oh my god, she said I was amazing too.
Right.
Ah!
Yeah.
Da, 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 and he starts punching himself like
Uh-huh. Yep.
to
Yeah.
calm the boner. It's
Right. Yeah.
This is that type of show. This is that type of show.
That's right.
And
That's
hey,
right.
I mean, it's not, that part wasn't even as bad as Takamura just randomly being so hot and bothered by
That he
just her
records a
appearance.
porno over Sendo's match tape. And
I
not,
guess he just needed that right now. you
right,
know?
exactly. And the thing is that what's funny is that one time, okay, I guess it's just he's not really paying attention to what he's doing. But in order for it to go back to the porno, which like we knew that was going to happen, it's like, you know, it's building up to it, you know, the final pounding, and then but that means that he had to restart the recording over of it.
Well, you know what I think they're kind of implying is that he had just ended his little thing and then had started it back up again. That's why there was a gap of time.
Right, yeah.
And then he starts recording it again to keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
But he lost track because of his little his sparring session being
exactly interrupted.
Finished at one point. So
there's very little sparring session.
So I wouldn't put on any of the gloves in that room or anything like that, or not shake his hand or anything. But oh my gosh,
that's why they have the hand wraps.
Yeah.
There you go.
It might be a bit of a vice grip though. Probably not good for you overall. But but we have everything regarding Sendo and Ippo's training being built up towards the tournament. So with what they did with Ippo specifically, his whole thing seems to be that he's wanting to push to make this match happen in the kind of stereotypical fashion of, if there's just a 1% chance,
exactly,
I want to give it a try. It's good enough for me. And it's like, okay, that's cool. However, what they really made sure we understood was that even if you did this match and you did it well, you won, and there wasn't any more injury aspect to your fist, if the pain and the damage became chronic, essentially, it would ruin your boxing career over the long haul. And
this could be something where every match, maybe he has to get,
a little bit worn out, a little bit broken down.
Keep numbing the pain in his fist.
That does not seem like a long-term solution. It sounds like the kind of thing that kills your longevity as not only a competitor in this area, but it sounds like something to where like let's think about like, jokes aside, your right hand.
Oh. Okay.
Ippo's right-handed.
Yes.
He's a strong boy. He could probably work into learning how to use his left hand and stuff. But let's imagine he just has to go through life at any point with a debilitated right hand.
Yeah, no.
He couldn't even help his mom out. Like, really, not nearly as much as he used to.
It's the thing where it's like it's the cool protagonism determinator thing, and even if it's absolutely stupid and not realistic. Now, in some cases, a person's got to do what a person's got to do, and if Ippo really felt that he would not be able to continue with this if he did, throttle back now, then okay, I guess maybe go for it, but
I wouldn't make a realistic judgment though based on this, because it's an arena that we know really nothing about.
Sure. I guess it's more of just the fact of what everyone else seems to be saying that has more experience in this area versus, how Ippo feels, kind of a thing.
Yeah, and I think that that's realistic, actually, is that they would all be saying things that would basically say, we're thinking about your future. Like, we don't really care about your upcoming individual matches.
Right.
We care about you having a long and successful boxing career.
Exactly.
And that's something of where they would definitely be the type that would be more cautious, hedge their bets, and do things that they might not necessarily say things that are even factually, true, by being like, this will ruin your career. And it'd be more accurate to say, this has a high likelihood of ruining your career.
Right, because they certainly wouldn't want to give him advice that would end up ruining his career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On some level, though, it like you said, it's a determinator thing.
Right.
And we have introduced Sendo, who is very much the determinator, in this case, pseudo-antagonist kind of character.
Yeah, or at least opponent,
Opponent, yeah. Who's going to face off against Ippo here, and is, channeling all the energy and drive from having an opponent that he really wants to fight, making him go beyond plus ultra and train his best here. Now, what they did with Sendo on a character level, though, was they showcased how much he is loved. They showcased how much every character around him really respects, admires, desires the best for him, and is rooting for him. Like, in the actual, match kind of thing. Like, they're aware of not only who he is, but what he can do, and that they'll be there to support him.
Right.
And I love seeing the rival of the protagonist basically have so much support, because usually when they have some kind of rival of a wholesome boy protagonist, the wholesome boy protagonist has to have some kind of dramatic difference separating them their rival. So the rival is either like some kind of bully, or there's some kind
Sure.
of like
Right, but in this
really
case,
kind of aggressive person.
Right, but in this case, they're about as parallel as you can get.
Yeah.
The only thing that maybe is a difference is the nature of the energy that drives them forward and how they express it. Sendo is a lot more external with it, whereas Ippo, it's it's the calm, internal, wholesome boy,
Yeah, that's a good connection there, because when Ippo has a lot of passion and stuff, what people see, and Yagi actually brought this up, was he was saying his expression is not matching what he's saying. Basically, Ippo's expression is one that's just like trembling, basically with excitement. He can't hold in his passion surrounding the whole thing.
Right.
And when he speaks, everything's much calmer. He's trying to be like, yeah,
he talks
I'm
about
worried
it giving
about
him
this.
shivers. Yeah.
Yes, he gives him shivers, and it's like,
right.
Ippo, you're like, your gone is showing. Basically.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Like it's basically
the power boner.
Yes, it's a power boner in a lot of ways, and there were some funny gags about it, I would say, this episode, regarding how Ippo's strength and his destructive power is something that's quite amazing, but on a really, really obscure meta level, Ippo's tendency right now carries with it a lot of potentially destructive power to basically ruin him.
His battle tendency?
Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't, I would say, hold fast to the people that are near him that he trusts and have that experience kind of advantage on him.
Exactly, yeah.
But yeah, we have another person in his corner now.
We do.
The doctor, she is an interesting addition to the cast in that she has the sports connection, and they directly called out that she knows what he's going through.
Right.
Which means there's a reason why she's not a judo, practitioner anymore. And she's into sports science and stuff like that.
And
a
at
chiropractor.
And at the very least, it's a situation where you have the doctor who understands I get it, you're willingly putting yourself into a situation where you are punishing your body, right? Yep. So given that, I know how to help you, right? Whereas if you were to talk to a regular doctor, I get the feeling, well, they might acknowledge that you're doing that.
Right.
That would be
it
one
would hold
of those
no value to them.
Yeah. Well, I would say it would hold negative value in a lot of ways.
Negative value,
and the things that you're doing, that would be things that they would say you should not do that, right? Because of how they interact with their patients and whatnot.
For sure.
So having someone who came from a background where she was not only exerting herself physically to some pretty extreme levels, but also was very, very good at it, so she knows what the competitiveness is like.
That spirit is something that is not really shared amongst the general populace. When you get, I would say, riled up into a kind of a spirited competition, there's kind of a high you can get that if you stick in, I wouldn't say you stick into it. It's like if you dig into it and you kind of not cultivate it, but you use it as like a springboard to expend energy towards specific goals. There's really cool things you can do. I think of it almost like the thing where you basically steady your breathing and you basically enter into the the zone. You're basically just you're focused, everything is clear, time slows down. You're basically everything's firing all cylinders, and you're in control. Your body responds in a specific way. But with the competitive side, it's basically that you kind of get a high off of the idea of going against someone who's operating at that level. And then potentially beating and, defeating someone like that.
Right, yeah.
She was, judo?
Yep.
Judo. And judo is grappling.
Yeah, judo is grappling and throwing people to the ground.
Right. Yeah. So judo, I would say, is much safer than boxing,
probably
on multiple factors, multiple levels.
Because it isn't about directly inflicting punishment so much as it is manipulating the other person's body.
Right. There's no striking in judo.
Right. Now, I don't think you go into any kind of grapple pins or anything like that. Like, because that's I think something different. Because if you did get into the things where you start folding the body, then that's
really
much worse than
dangerous.
boxing.
In a lot think I think judo is much safer than boxing. But I am curious.
Corcus, I don't know. Like.
I am interested to find out though, because she does seem relatively young. She's not like anywhere near Ippo's age or anything like that. But because she does seem relatively young. If there was something, though, that happened to her that caused her to basically be like, okay, I have to be done.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I'll see these people in real life, and they'll be 35, something like that. Mm-hmm. And they'll talk about how, like, 5 years ago, they were killing it in this sport at this level. And you just kind of go, wait, what? Just 5 years ago?
Uh-huh.
And they've, put on probably like 30 pounds or something like that. They're, a little bit, sluggish and stuff. But you see this drive and this kind of this energy about them when they talk about that. And it's like, what happened? And it's usually something extremely small and extremely simple that was just like, yeah, this happened to my foot. And now I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, something like that. And so Ippo dealing with something that's like his primary, his most used physical component, really. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm doing this.
Right. I know. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is really scary
yep.
With regards to his future.
Yeah.
Anything that happened specifically with Sendo or Ippo that you want to call attention to?
I love the interaction with the kids. Like that's when you see someone that's good with kids, it's like, okay, cool. Because especially with boxing, where aggression is something that's so needed in order to be competitive with it. The idea that it's not something that dominates Sendo's life, but it's just, I enjoy beating the crap out of people, in the ring.
Right.
Don't get me wrong,
Right.
But I know how to interact with kids, even if I'm like, no, stop, you're cramping my style. I'm in the cool mode now. I've got a big opponent lined up. He's short, but he's a strong opponent. I can't be talking to you guys, but okay, I suppose if you want, here's tickets to my match. Come see me, be awesome.
It's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Saying, yeah.
That's great.
I 100% agree. The scene with the kids was something where they're reminding us of how wholesome Sendo is, but also how much he enjoys maybe sharing his passion with others.
Sure.
And because even being able to communicate that passion to kids who definitely understand the passion, but might not understand the logistics, the details of boxing as a sport.
Two other things that I remembered, like details. One, that he taught one of the kids a right hook, which I think is just great.
Yes.
And two, he had those tickets on his person. Now that could just be a prop for convenience, so that it's like when he tells them he'll get them the tickets, he can just give them the tickets right there.
Right.
But it could also mean, one way to look at it is that he carries around a bunch of extra tickets to the event to give out to people to be like, hey, come watch me fight, which is kind of a big deal, because we've established that boxing doesn't pay a lot. So he's taking his own money to try and spread the passion and stuff, because he wants other people to see it.
That's a good point. One of the things that's, I would say, a potentially good insight on that is that if he's giving out the tickets, one of the things that you would generally expect to get, or maybe the people he would tend towards just giving the tickets to, are people that he was already going to be interacting with anyway, which means these are people that give him those kind of encouragements and stuff like that. Right. So what he's maybe saying, in some ways, this is a bit of a weird leap in logic, I would say, but I think it fits, is that he is still lacking in confidence. So by him having all these people show up and stuff, it reinforces why he has to win. because he has to give that person a good show. He has to give that person a good show.
He can't disappoint the kids.
He can't disappoint the kids. He can't disappoint
it's a very good possibility
so-and-so,
that he bought
the
those tickets
dentist
just
or the
for the
baker or
kids.
the grocery store manager or whatever. Like, all those people are people with names, and because he does seem like a social butterfly in a lot of ways, he probably knows all their names.
Sure.
And probably will be able to look out at the crowd, even though the lights would probably blind him from looking out in the stands and stuff, and be able to point and go, yeah, and that's something that's really special. I would say, and even if he's really competitive, and this is part of his reasoning, it's something where it's like, hey, if the crowd's cheering my name more than they're cheering on Ippo's name, that might just make things a little bit more in my edge.
Those extra 7 people or whatever, even if they're little kids screaming, "Ganbatte!"
Or he gives them tickets, and then he's also trying to, organize, the place to make sure it gets sold out. It's like, hey, here's a ticket for you, but there are tickets on sale, go and, bring your your family and friends and stuff to go with you. Have some fun.
Essentially.
I mean, maybe not, but I'm guessing it's a little bit more simple than that.
He starts this whole marketing campaign.
No. I think if anything, it's just the encouragement aspect and the cheering on aspect, and then it builds his confidence because if he has a weakness, if Sendo has a weakness right now, they've already said that his defense is his weakness in the technical side of things. Yeah. But his personality flaw, I would say right now, is that if anything, he might have a confidence issue. And that would be
I'm
cool.
interested, if that does end up being the case, awesome. But, he shows such the opposite of that.
Yeah. The reason why I would say there might be that is because of the way he stumbles over his words, and then he actually acts really bashful and kind of, when he does that. Like, when he's being his social self, he goes out there and he'll say something wrong or whatever. He'll be like, yeah. Like, he doesn't just kind of roll with it. So, I don't know. It could be interesting. But y'all, this is a great episode to transition from Ippo not being sure about going to Osaka
and now he's
punches, confident, and he has another person in his corner to help him out with his health and stuff in regards to his fists recovery.
That's right.
So, yeah. Y'all, if you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there. And all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories, anime in general, Hajime no Ippo, non-spoilery, of course, or just whatever. Anything that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.